So there's doom and gloom everywhere I go. Every time I hear about the economy, I hear about the recession. Is it here already? Is it coming? I hear about housing issues, potential foreclosures. I hear about auto rates going up. I hear about gas price increases. Gosh. But I woke up this morning, and if you look behind me, you'll see what I saw. A beautiful day here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I thought, in today's episode, I want to talk to you about the opportunity that might be coming. Is this the end for insurance agents? Is this upcoming potential recession, depression, economic turmoil, is it going to destroy your agency? Or is there opportunity that lies ahead? Well, it's all depending on how you look at it. So in this episode of Planet of the Agents, we are going to talk about the upcoming potential opportunity in an economic downturn. Are you ready to join me? You know it's going to get exciting. You know it's going to be filled with energy, positivity, of course. This is insurance. So sit down and buckle up because here we go. Hello, everybody. It's Dave Baker, your host of Planet of the Agents. Now, if it's your first time listening to the show or watching on YouTube, whether you're on the podcast, whether you're on YouTube, wherever you are, the first thing you've got to do is, of course, tap that little subscribe button, click the little bell, click the little heart, click the subscribe button on your podcast software, whatever it is, make sure that you are getting notified every time I put out a new episode of Planet of the Agents, the ultimate show for insurance agents and agency owners. Now, if you do want to reach out to me, which I really appreciate when you do, I love getting your stories, I love getting your tales of insurance, your insights. Well, all you have to do is head over to planetoftheagents.com. There is a contact me button. Additionally, that is where you can sign up to get access to both the newsletter and the agency resources section. If you don't see it when you first get there, that's because the agency resources section is only for members. So all you have to do is head over to planetoftheagents.com and sign up. Okay, so if you are watching on YouTube, this is a walk and talk video, which means, of course, that I will be walking around and we'll be talking about the exciting world of property and casualty insurance agencies. So I'm sure no matter how hard you try to avoid social media, to avoid the news, you're definitely hearing something. And being a podcaster and YouTube person, certainly I watch YouTube, I listen to podcasts, and in my feed, which is, algorithmically directed at me, I see right now constant doom and gloom. I see so much negativity. But this is specific right now to the economy. So there are some other shows I listen to where they talk about all the problems coming, banking issues, price increases, inflation. In fact, in an episode of a show I saw today, someone was talking about the increase in auto insurance rates and, interestingly, in life insurance rates. And he didn't even dive into things like property insurance, homeowners insurance, the trouble that's going on in various states with the property market. And what he didn't mention, because he's not working in insurance, is the opportunity. And this opportunity that I want to discuss is one reason that I actually really like the commercial insurance business. Now, I know there are a lot of personal lines agents out there, and I understand. I actually think, and I don't have any official statistics on this, but I think a lot of people get started in personal lines. And that might be because, well, generally speaking, everybody needs something, right? If you own a car, you have to buy some form of car insurance. And for you Florida agents out there, you have to buy some kind of car insurance, right? Even if it's PIPD, while your other agents might be thinking about liability. I bring that up because whenever there's talk of auto insurance, people say, well, it's not mandatory in my state. Well, there's something you have to get in most places. I don't know every state's rules by heart, so take that all with a grain of salt. But if you own a house, homeowners insurance, unless you're one of those people who can self-insure, if that's even available. What if you buy a toy like a watercraft, a boat? Got to get insurance. So here's the thing. In personal lines, I think that they will be potentially more negatively affected by a potential recession or economic downturn. And inflation, of course, is also really affecting people, causing, prices to go up on all kinds of things. Maybe someone who was going to buy an RV, who was going to buy a personal watercraft or a boat or a yacht is thinking, you know what, maybe I'll hold off right now. And that's kind of understandable, right? So in commercial, I feel like it's quite different. Now, for those of you who are newer to insurance, let's just make a quick comparison. You have personal lines insurance, which includes things such as homeowners insurance, auto insurance, personal umbrellas, watercraft, such as boats. That includes motorcycles, off-road vehicles, recreational vehicles, and trailers. Now, there are other things that could be included as well, but I think that's a pretty good list. Next on the list, you of course have commercial lines insurance. What does that include? What is in business insurance? Well, that includes general liability, professional liability, another kind called errors and omissions, which could be considered one of the professional liabilities, cyber liability, crime insurance, workers' compensation insurance, inland marine insurance, ocean marine insurance, and we'll also add surety bonds for good measure. So here is the thing that I see being so different about the opportunities in these two markets. As I mentioned before, I think that when you're dealing with personal lines insurance, it can be more affected by an economic downturn because, for example, people will try to reduce the rates on their car insurance. They will bring up not driving as many miles. They will say for certain vehicles that they have a layup period, like your off-road vehicles or your snowmobiles, which would fall into personal lines. They'll say, well, I don't use a snowmobile during the summer. Is there a discount? This makes sense, right? And homeowners insurance is something that people hopefully never have to use. Therefore, they want to reduce their rates there. It's also quite competitive because you have mortgage companies or similar entities working to integrate that insurance into their purchase process. Now let's talk about the opportunity that lies in commercial lines insurance. So what I love so much about commercial is that you can actually adjust your marketing depending on the state of the economy. So during the recent few past years, you saw a run-up in real estate. You saw numerous real estate agents, escrow companies, title companies, mortgage companies, home inspectors, contractors. You saw all of these people probably benefiting from this run-up in real estate. More homes are being sold. That gave you an opportunity to sell insurance to all those industries. And that's really just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there are so many things you could think about. When homes are being built, you also have things like swimming pool contractors. When people want to install a swimming pool, you have people who are purchasing homes frequently, and they have to use all these different services. So there was opportunity there. But aren't there people and businesses that make money in an economic downturn? Who makes money in a recession? What businesses will need insurance and be doing more business during an economically depressed period? Well, let's think about that for a second. These are just a few examples I could think of. You have junk haulers. You have vacant home inspectors. And yes, there is such a thing. You have the mortgage field industry. You have asset managers. You have REO companies, the ones who deal with foreclosed home. You have foreclosure management companies. Interestingly, on the professional liability side, you could be thinking about hard money lenders. More might appear, more might be seeking insurance. This is just the tip of the iceberg, okay? You have other property management companies that might have to focus, unfortunately, on eviction, and they didn't do that before, and that could open higher premium opportunities. So why do I bring this up? Well, do you see where I'm going with this? I'm sure you already see it, but let's talk about it. Let me point it out a little bit more. there seem to always be businesses that you can sell commercial insurance to, no matter what the state of the economy. Have you ever listened to any of the really famous economic advisors or voices on the internet, whether they're influencers or very famous people from many years ago, where they say the biggest money is made during a depression, during a recession, during a crash? And while I don't want those things to happen, I want everyone to be in a great position all the time. That is what I want. I want everyone to be, fortunate and profitable, and I want everyone to have a great life all the time. The reality is we do have economic cycles. So in the commercial insurance market, this is an opportunity for you to pivot what you sell and what you advertise, or to whom you market, or cold call, or whatever you do to get business. So in commercial, as you see this coming, you can start planning on how you're going to continue to keep your business growing. Now, that's not to say that all of your customers are going to just go out of business. For example, if you work with swimming pool contractors, does that mean they're going to have no jobs during an economic downturn? No, it doesn't mean that. It could affect them. The reality of economics, I think, for most of us, when trying to make predictions, is that realistically, none of us know what's going to happen. We're just not on that level. I'm sure somebody knows somewhere, somehow, but that has nothing to do with you and me. So with that in mind, why not take this opportunity, if you're already in commercial, to start planning and creating a marketing plan and a strategy where you're going to advertise to people who will thrive during this upcoming economic turmoil. There are businesses that will need insurance, and wouldn't you like it if they could come to you? Now, if you're just getting started in commercial insurance, well, this is going to be a change. But it might be time to think about whether or not your personal insurance book is going to be affected by it. If you don't believe it, or you're close to retirement, or you're about to sell, there are a lot of different variables. Everyone's in a different place. But for me, I'm thinking about these things and how I'm going to get the word out to certain industries and agents, and to let them know that we're here to help them. Because, gosh, for the past few years, not many people have probably been opening those types of businesses. I've recently had a couple requests for junk hauler types of quotes. They need many different services, right? They're going to need general liability, or commercial auto. They're going to need workers' comp, all kinds of things they might need. So once I started noticing that those quotes and those requests were coming more and more, I realized, a little bit about what was going on. These people were getting ready. So let's talk about the takeaways from this video. The key items here were that commercial insurance can offer opportunities in both a strong economic market and during an economic downturn. Also, you might need to change your marketing plan depending on what's going on in the world, right? This is a factor that you have to think about. Now, if you like this video, what do you want to do? Or this podcast, wherever you're listening, you've got to make sure to subscribe. Get subscribed by clicking the button below. If you're listening on the podcast, you're going to want to click your download button, your subscribe button, whatever it is, the plus sign, whatever it is. Make sure that you're getting notified every time a new episode comes out, because I want to keep working hard to put these episodes out there for you. Of course, if you liked it, drop a comment below, whether it's on the podcast or on the YouTube show. Drop your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to hear about. And of course, don't forget to go to planetoftheagents.com to subscribe to the newsletter and join. All right, everybody, until the next video, take care.